The Armstrong family loves football. While we root for different NFL teams, we all love and support Oregon football. My dad played football in the 1940s. There he is there on the bottom left without a face mask. And lined up with Dick Night Train Layne, who still holds the season record for interceptions in a season. They won a championship in 1949. And there's a Dick Night Train Layne in the bottom right there. Eventually, in 1969, we moved next to Hayward Field, and that's when our family became Duck fans. And we would play touch football there, right next to Hayward Field, just a block from my home. When I graduated from Oregon in 1978, football was just not a thing. It was track that was the big deal. Steve Prefontaine ran there and competed and set records at many distance records. The Oregon-Washington football game was mostly dominated by Washington over the years. They had a huge advantage on us. But that all changed in 1994 when an interception occurred called the pick and sent them on their way to their first Rose Bowl since 1957. I had a chance to go to that game and cover it for KFYR radio and television. That interception in 1994 has changed everything. They show that interception before every Autzen home game. And then, eventually, back in the 1970s, I worked the field with a cordless microphone for KUGN Radio, the voice of the Ducks, with the broadcast team of Mike Stone and Wendy Ray in 1977 and 1978 at home games. The crowds were thin, the tickets about $5. Those years, the Ducks lost to Washington 58-0 and 66-0. It was the Pac-8 then in 1977. We went 2-9, and the year I graduated, we went 2-9 again. But we beat Oregon State in the Civil War at the end of each of those seasons. And one of my jobs at the end of home games was to interview live Coach Rich Brooks before he went into the locker room. Brooks kept his job because he was a decent guy, not a bad coach, and he managed to beat Oregon State each year in the Civil War at the end of the season. Finally, in 2005, I made a trip back to see my parents who lived in Eugene to meet family members and take our two daughters to their first college football game. Number 20 Oregon beat Washington on that beautiful October day, 45-21. Later that year, Oregon went on to the Holiday Bowl and ended up being ranked 12th in the 2005 AP poll that season. So this year, with both teams ranked in the top 10, going into Washington Husky Stadium, and a trip to the last ever Pac-12 championship game, which a bunch of our family will be at on December 1st in Las Vegas, this should set the stage for another fantastic finish to both the Pac-12, possibly a trip to the Rose Bowl, the Pac-12 championship, and who knows, a college football playoff spot for Oregon. It